Alright, so we are back and we want to quickly talk about authentication and how to implement it fast, secure, and easy. Now, we all know that implementing authentication for your application, especially when you're thinking about security, is a hassle at the end of the day, right? But thankfully, Scalekit came out with a solution that allows us to implement it very fast and easy. Okay, so let's not waste much time, right? Let me just quickly open up my code right here for one of the companies that I had worked for in the past, right? One of my companies, right? You can see this is just the server that handles authentication. You can see that we have the Copland accounts right here. Now if I open it up, you can see we have what sessions, users, auth, admin, and all that stuff, right? You can see we have all these other things right here. That makes the authentication quite long and stressful, right? And the fact that we had to dedicate a whole new code base just for authentication should tell you how complicated it can be. All right, now because we don't want to be going through any of that, we can just do this very fast and easy using what Scalekit right here. Right, I'm going to quickly demonstrate with this quick app that I built, just so you can see how fast and easy it is, right? So this is what we're going to use to understand how Scalekit works. So I'm going to click on get started right here, and then it is going to redirect me to the custom login URL or the custom login page that Scalekit gives you tools and all these other things to customize to suit your application and your purpose. And so now that you have this, what you want to do is you can just click on continue Google, Microsoft, you can be able to enable all these things on your dashboard. We'll get to that point. So you can see that we are here, and then you can see that we have what's welcome back Solu Servant, and you can see we have the full name, the Solu Servant Gmail, You can also see the auth logs right here, nice and clean. We can even refresh it if you want us to. Alright, you can see them looking nice and clean right here. Now we can also log out just like this. You can click on this log out just like that, and then it will automatically just log you out just like that if you set it up right. And if we try to get started, if we try to click on get started again, it will take us to the custom login page that Scalekit provides you with the necessary tools to customize to suit your application, right? So we can just do that. Click on continue with Google. Since I've already done this continue with Google thing before, that's why it's not taking me to that auth page. That's why I'm just going directly. But at the end of the day, you can see that it is fast and secure. All right. So this is the Scalekit docs, or even if you are here, you can just click on start for. You can click on redux right here, and then it will open up these docs for you. And then if you click on start for free, you can just sign in and then manage your dashboard that looks just like this. All right, so you can see this is the quick start, right? You can just read through and stuff like that. It helps you understand the system a whole lot more better. You can see, so this is for the FullStack auth, right? And these are the packages that we're supposed to install, and then we set up these environment variables and all these other things, right? Okay, so this is going to be your dashboard. You can see these are just the organizations and their IDs. Okay, so the first thing we want to do right here is you can come here and customize your login page right here. All right, so when you come here, you guys come and click on this login right here. You can see that I have added a logo. You see an upload image button right here. You can just add your logo by just selecting one of the images that you have. I just clicked on upload right here, so it will just open up we just open up the dialog box where I can just select where I want, or the image that I want to be displayed over there, or the logo that I want to be displayed over there, right? So yeah, it's going to be loading up real quick. Yeah, so it's right here, and I would come and try to upload try to upload. I want just one picture. Yeah, okay, this is one of the logos that I tried to use in the past. So let me just upload this one real quick. It was just, a sample. So you can see that we have the new logo right here, nice and clean. We can also change this favicon at the same time too. We can just leave it the way it is. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, but yeah, that one also has its upload button, so you have to upload your own favicon there too as well. Yeah, but I'm just leaving it because we already looked at how this one works, so pretty much the same thing. And you can also change your button color. You can give it red, preview it too at the same time. It's really cool. It's really cool, not gonna lie. It's really, really cool. You can also change the primary button text too as well, the text color right here. You can see that we can change the text color too as well, right? But obviously we want white, right? So yeah, we want it to be white, so it's going to be like that. We can change border radius. We have a whole bunch of tools at our disposal, right? And we can even change the background color to right here, right? Look at how cool this looks. Look at how cool this is. All right, but I want my background color to be white, obviously. So I'll just keep it at the FFF right here. Then I can just click on save, and then you can see that it will quickly save my customized login page right here. We will quickly go into the authentication tab right here, and then you can see that we have the auth methods, and we can quickly just go through them and then enable the ones that we want to enable. Some of them too, you have to provide the credentials for them, like for instance this one. Where is it? So you can see we have to provide some of them the credentials for them before you can be able to implement them. And when we go into the redirects, this is where you specify certain links where you want your application to redirect to. But in this case, if we say, well, after every successful authentication, which URL in your app do you want the successful authentication, or do you want the Scalekit service to redirect you to? Like, what URL do you want the Scalekit service to redirect you to in case your authentication is successful? And then obviously we wanted to take us towards the localhost 3000 / callback right here. And over there we already have functions that handle what it will handle with it. And we also have the initiate login URL right here. You can just set that up, and this one is isn't really important at the moment, okay, but you can just specify it right here. And then you can also come here, and then you can see this is very important. This is also important, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like for our demonstration right here, we don't need it, right, for our demonstration. But it's like, okay, an endpoint in your app that redirects to Scalekit's authorized endpoints required to handle scenarios where login is not initiated from your app. So pretty much you can initiate login from outside your app, right? So it looks like it's for admin purposes, right? But in our app, we didn't need to use any of that. That is why I'm not going too deep in that side. But the most ones that you'll be using most of the time is the allowed callback URLs right here, and then the post logout URLs right here, right? So yeah, pretty much this is it. You can, so after your logout is successful, where should the Scalekit service redirect you to? And then that should obviously be the localhost 3000 right here. All right, so now that we've been able to set that up, we can quickly go back into the application and then understand how everything works. So let me quickly just log out. You can see after logging out, it just took us straight to this side, and you can see how fast it worked. It was just very fast, like just like that. And so you can see this is the get started button right here. Let's quickly go back into the app right here. Okay. So we are inside the app right here, right? And if you go into app and page.csx, just like that right here, Right, so we have page.tsx right here, and inside you can see that we have this handle get started. You can see we have this handle get started right here, right? Okay, so I'm quickly going to go up and go into this handle get started. Okay, I think, yeah, it's here. So once I go there, you can see that I am trying to run this service, right? So once I click on get started, in order for us to initiate our login, I'm going to run this, right? And then this is simply taking the base URL slash auth. Right now, if you go into the server and then go into this route right here, you can see that, okay, let us allow it to open. Okay, let me quickly scroll upwards. You see what is going on. So you can see right here, you can see that we have the options, and yeah, I mean, most of these things are inside the Scalekit dashboard. That is right here. If you go back, sorry, the Scalekit docs right here, you can see, right? So if we set it up, we need to make sure that's what we have installed our Scalekit package right here, and then we've set up the environment variables. If we go back into the application, which is this one, we can see that we have set up our environment variables right here. All right, and so once we, let's go back to the auth routes just like that, and once we are done, we can come down here and then set up our Scalekit.js, or you can see utils slash auth.js right here. You can see it right here. So if we go back into the application, we already set that up, and that is right here. You can see yeah, lib, inside the lib, so you can see scalekit.js right here. And just like how we said in the docs, we just initialized everything right here, nice and easy. All right, so now that we have this Scalekit initialized right here, you can see that we are exporting it as well. Now that is what is allowing us to use it inside our auth.routes.js that we have right here. Right now, if you go back to the docs and we scroll down a little bit, you see that we also have the callback and what we can do with it right here. So once we initialize the login, just like how I demonstrated with the get started button, you realize that we have this other endpoint. So look, so you can see we have this page, right, the callback page that we have here. Now whenever we go into this callback page that we specified on our Scalekit dashboard, you realize that once the page renders, we run this handle callback, and then this handle callback just takes all these things. I mean, according to the docs, if you go back, you'd see that we are taking all these things from the query right there, and then we are passing it into the endpoint, right? Passing it into the endpoints just like this. All right, so if we go back here, you see that inside the callback right here, you can see we are taking them, and obviously we want to add our logs and then display, obviously, right? But yeah, apart from that, you can see here that we are redirecting in case there's an error. All right, but if there is no error, we can simply just come here, take the results, and then do whatever we want with them. That means we can even set our sessions just like this, and store our refresh tokens and all these other things, right? Access tokens, you can set our cookies and all these other things that come with it. All right, and then you can also see that we have this custom endpoints right here that we used to just get the logged in user, and then you can see that all this information is given to us inside the request that we had specified right here, right? Nice and clean. All right, so now that we know how this initialization of the login and also the callback works at this point, and we know that it redirects us straight to our dashboard at the end of the day, then yeah, then yeah, then we know that, okay, since we have been redirected straight to our dashboard, we know that we can now log out all the details that are in the dashboard right here. You can see we can log out all the details right here. So you can see let me see, so company dashboard, you can see that we are taking the user, the organization, and all these other things. And I already showed you the endpoint that we used to get the current logged in user, so you don't even have to worry about that. So yeah, we are logging out all the current users, all the current user info, and also we are logging out the logs in a table at the bottom right here. At the bottom right here, you can see the table and all that stuff. All right, so now that we understand how the initialization of the login, you can see, look at the changes. Right, now that we understand how the initialization of the login and the display of the current user info is like, now we want to understand how the logout works. Now you remember that at the end of the day, we came here to specify the post logout URL. That is, if logout is successful, where should the Scalekit service redirect our app to, right? And that should be what our home page right here. That is what we specified right here, right? So you need to make sure that these links are the same as what you are using in there, because the moment they change, Brody, it's over. You keep getting errors, right? So here we are inside the dashboard. You can see the logs nice and clean. Now we want to log out, right? We've already specified this. Now realize that when we click on log out right here, you can see very fast. You can see very fast, and then quickly the user is logged out. When we want to get started again, it will take us to that log in right here. It forces the user to log in, so we can ensure security, obviously improve security at the end of the day. And right after that, we can just get back into the application. All right, nice and clean. You can see it's right here, fast. It's just fast. Awesome. So yeah, pretty much now that we have this and we understand how the login works in by demo inside the app, let us go into the dashboard right here. You can see we have this handle log out right here, handle log out right here. Now what happens when we try to log out? So I'm going to go into the logout right here. You can see we run this endpoint all such logouts that we had specified, and then if we go to the back right here, which is what the auth.routes.js that we have at the back end right here. Let me quickly scroll down to the logout endpoint. You can see that we take all these things from the sessions, the request of the session right here. We had specified them at the top inside the callback, so you already know that. And we make sure we check for errors, obviously, and we also make sure that we are deleting all these login info or all these login actions that we had performed at the very beginning. We also clear the cookies. Then when we are done, we come and do the most important thing that has even been specified in the docs. And then let me go into the docs. You can see that when we scroll down, it tells us to quickly set log out user. So you can see that it works around this side, right? It has been specified right around that side. So let's quickly go back to the project, and then you can see that we take this Scalekit package, and then we see .get logout URL, and then you open up this object right here, and then you pass in what's the ID token hint, and then the post logout redirect URI, just like that. Rest the status, just like that. Nice and clean. Then obviously we are already redirecting right here inside our dashboard right here. You can see, because we had returned the logout URL as a status, as a rest.status right here. You can see as a rest.json right here, so we can just redirect with our front end too as well, just like that, and we are good to go. So yeah, pretty much that is how fast and easy authentication can be implemented using Scalekit. We didn't go through all that hassle that you saw me go through inside the previous code base that I had showed you at the very beginning, and you can see how fast and easy it is. All right, so pretty much thank you very much for getting to this part of the video. Make sure you check out Scalekit at the in the video description. You get a direct link straight to Scalekit. You can check it out. Make sure you implement it into your application. Trust me, you have security, you have convenience, and then you can also, it's easily maintainable too at the end of the day. Yeah, so pretty much, I trust me, this is a great recommendation for me. um to you to use Scalekit in your subsequent application. All right, so yeah, thank you very much for getting to this part of the video, and then hopefully I'll see you in the next one.